I was dug in deep, out in the rough, Afghanistan, when my sat phone rang. A call from home was the last thing I expected, especially that kind. I was mid-debrief, still half covered in the dust and blood from a recent firefight, when the damn thing bust. It was Sophie, my daughter. She never called me out there, unless something was seriously wrong. Her voice came through the static, trembling, cracked. "Dad, I can't do this anymore," she whispered. "What's going on, sweetheart?" I asked, already on my feet, already feeling that cold certainty in my gut. "It's Mom," she said. And just like that, it felt like my lungs quit on me. "She brings this guy to the house. Every single day. His name's Travis," Sophie said. "He struts around like he owns the place, like you don't even matter. And after he's done with her, he starts looking at me, making moves." There was this silence after that, sharp, heavy, the kind that slices straight through you. It felt like something tore loose inside my chest, something deeper than any wound I ever took in combat. I didn't press her for more. Didn't need to. I filed for emergency leave on the spot, didn't wait for clearance. They took one look at me and didn't ask a single question. Within half a day, I was wheels down in D.C., stepping through Reagan Airport with just my duffel slung over my shoulder and my old chrome Magnum tucked tight beneath my jacket. But I didn't head home right away. I waited. I had to see it with my own eyes. I parked a couple blocks out, behind a rundown grocery store, close enough to watch the house I'd built with my bare hands, the place where every memory with Sophie was burned into the damn walls. 3 days. 3 long, soul-draining days I sat in that car. Watching. Recording. On the second day, I saw her, Vanessa. My wife. The same woman who used to cry when I left for deployment. She was wearing the red dress I gave her last Christmas, the one she said made her feel beautiful. She opened the front door, laughing like a teenager, while some tall, greasy-haired bastard strolled in holding bags of wine and chocolate. Travis. They kissed in the doorway like it was some sappy romance flick. Like I didn't even exist. Like I wasn't across the world taking enemy fire for her freedom. I saw him slap her ass before they walked inside. She laughed. Then the curtains drew shut. I didn't sleep that night. Not a minute. On the third day, same pattern. Only this time, Travis showed up earlier. Sophie got home from school, walked in without suspecting a thing. 10 minutes later, she stormed out in tears. That broke me. I waited until the sun went down. Then I slipped in through the back door, quiet as death. The whole house reeked of wine, strawberries, and betrayal. They were in the living room. Vanessa was on top of him, giggling like some college freshman, moaning his name like it was a damn love song. She didn't even notice me until I cocked the Magnum. Vanessa froze. Her head turned slowly. When our eyes locked, there was no guilt, no fear, just that same smug irritation. "Seriously, Colin?" she hissed, climbing off him and straightening her robe. "You couldn't have called first?" "Get Sophie out of this house," I said. She rolled her eyes. Rolled. Her eyes. "Relax," she said with a shrug. "She's at her friend's place." I needed a break from all her drama. I stepped in closer. My hand holding the Magnum steady, my voice, not so much. "She called me, Vanessa. All the way from Afghanistan. Told me what you've been doing while I was out there fighting for this country." Travis stood up, puffing out his chest like he thought he was tough. "Hey man," he said, all smug. "Maybe if you took care of your wife, she wouldn't need a..." Bam. I didn't shoot him, but I put around 2 inches from his foot. The glass coffee table exploded. Travis stumbled backward, hands up like a scared little punk. All right. Vanessa didn't even blink. Not a flinch. She looked down at the floor where the bullet hit, then up at me. "You were always so dramatic," she said, venom in every word. "What? You thought you'd storm in here, play the war hero, and I'd fall at your feet. Beg you to stay?" She sneered. "Please. I've been done with you since the day Sophie was born. I only stuck around 'cause it was easy." I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. "You stayed because you thought I'd never come back alive," I said. She didn't even try to deny it. Travis bolted out the door, half-dressed and panicked. Vanessa just sat on the couch, lit a cigarette, and crossed her legs like she was waiting on an Uber. "You can go now," she said coolly. "We're finished. I'll send the divorce papers. Just sign them." I didn't say a word. I just stared at her, one last time. The woman I once gave my whole heart to, the mother of my child, sat there like a stranger. And I just walked out. But let me be clear, that wasn't the end of it. Not by a long shot. That night, after I left, I didn't close my eyes once. I sat in my truck, engine cold, parked in the dark, the weight of that magnum resting on my leg like a loaded question. My thoughts were all over the place, firing off in every direction like shrapnel. I kept hearing her voice in my head, Vanessa's voice. That smug, hollow tone. You can leave now. Like I was some stray dog who'd overstayed my welcome. Nah, that wasn't the end. Hell, it hadn't even started. First thing the next morning, I dropped Sophie off with my sister over in Gainesville. I didn't dump everything on her. Not yet. Just told her mom was dealing with some stuff and needed a little time. Sophie didn't push back. She didn't need to. She already knew. She'd been living in it. Once I knew she was safe, I went back. Back to the house. Place was empty. Vanessa was nowhere to be found. Probably holed up in some sleazy motel with Travis the parasite, licking their wounds. So I let myself in. Easy enough. I still had the key. I moved through the house like I was back on patrol in Kandahar. Room by room. Drawer by drawer. I wasn't just angry. I wanted answers. I was hunting for the truth, no matter how ugly it was. In the nightstand, I found something that stopped me cold, a second phone. A burner. Code was easy. Her birthday. She's careless when she's not busy lying. And the messages on that phone? They turned my stomach. Travis, you left the back door unlocked again, LOL. Vanessa, your daughter saw me. LMAO. Travis, tell her to stop staring. Vanessa, whatever. She'll get over it. You're hot. She's hormonal. Not my fault. Travis, we still on for the cabin this weekend. Vanessa, yep. Told Colin I needed a mental health break. He bought it like always. My hands were shaking as I read those words. A mental health retreat. Meanwhile, I was across the damn globe dodging bullets, and she was playing house with some cheap gym rat. Then I saw the photo. It wasn't even hidden. Just sitting there in her email drafts like it was no big deal. Vanessa, in lingerie. On our bed. Travis behind her. Both of them flipping off the camera. Caption said, still alive, but barely. My vision blurred. I sat down, heart pounding so hard it shook my ribs, breath coming in shallow gasps. This woman, the one I married, the one I swore to protect, she wasn't just cheating. She was laughing at me. But it wasn't just me I was thinking about anymore. It was Sophie. I backed everything up to a flash drive. Every filthy message. Every picture. Location data. All of it. I wasn't just angry now. I was building a case. Something airtight. Something that would bury Vanessa in court. Then I started looking into Travis. No last name in the texts, but I had his number. And I had friends. One quick call to my buddy Jared, ex-Intel guy, now working private security, and I got a name, Travis clinging on. No criminal record, but the red flags were waving loud and clear. Personal trainer, but no listed clients. Weekly cash deposits. No tax filings. Then Jared dropped a bomb that froze the blood in my veins. He's tied to a guy out in Philly, he said. Small-time operator. Pills mostly. There's talk Travis is one of his runners. And suddenly, it all clicked into place. The arrogance. The flashy attitude. The easy money. The way he acted untouchable. Vanessa wasn't just stepping out. She was bringing a damn drug runner into our house, around our daughter. And she didn't give a damn. Not even a flicker of guilt. That night, I parked outside the house again, just like before. But I wasn't the broken man this time. No, this time I was back in soldier mode. Locked in. Focused. 2 days later, Jared gave me a heads up. Vanessa and Travis were meeting at some high-end bar downtown. Not exactly where you'd expect a washed-up housewife and a gym rat to be flaunting themselves. Which made it all the more telling. She wanted to be noticed. She wanted eyes on her. The lies had puffed her up, made her bold and sloppy. So I cleaned up. Showered. Fresh shave. No gun this time. I wanted her to see me as the man she'd written off. The man she'd underestimated. The man walking in for the truth. The moment I stepped inside the bar, I spotted them. Corner booth. Vanessa's heels were off. Her foot curled up under her like a teenager. Travis's hand was already sliding up her thigh. She was letting out that same fake laugh she always used when she wanted something. Used to sound cute. Now it made my skin crawl. I didn't sneak up or hang back. I walked straight up, pulled out a chair across from them, and sat down like I belonged there. Vanessa's face went pale like she'd seen a damn ghost. Travis. He did exactly what I expected, puffed up his chest like some third-rate peacock ready to make noise. What the hell are you doing here? Vanessa hissed, tugging at her dress like it would somehow bring back her dignity. I stayed calm. Just wanted a front row seat to the show, I said. You two look real cozy. Did you tell him you're still legally married? Still living in the house I paid for? Travis let out a scoff. Man, get lost. Nobody asked you to be here. I didn't even look at him. I was locked in on Vanessa. Go ahead. Tell him about Sophie's phone call, I said, my voice like ice. Tell him what your daughter said. She blinked rapidly, just for a second. A flicker. A crack in that stone-cold mask. She was exaggerating, Vanessa snapped. Teenagers say all kinds of wild stuff. You know how they are. I didn't respond. Just reached into my jacket and slammed a photo onto the table. The one from her email drafts. Her smirk died in the middle of a word. Travis leaned in to get a better look. Squinted. Then let out a little laugh. Oh damn, he chuckled. You pulled that from her phone? That's pretty slick, bro. Don't call me bro, I snapped, voice low and sharp like a blade. You stepped into my house. You got involved with my kid. And now you're acting like this is some kind of joke. Vanessa just rolled her eyes like she was bored. You always turn everything into a big production, she said, venom in her tone. You left me alone for years. What did you think was going to happen? That I'd sit around and wait like some sad little housewife while you played soldier? You mean while I was serving my country? I asked, trying to keep the edge out of my voice. You were serving yourself, she said, cold as ice. The military was always your real wife. Not me. Not Sophie. So yeah, I found someone else. Someone who actually wanted to be around. Someone who touched me. Who listened. Every word hit like a punch to the ribs, and she knew it. She twisted that knife with every syllable. You brought a drug runner into our home, I said, barely above a whisper. You put our daughter at risk. And for what? Some cheap back alley thrill? Travis puffed up again, smug as ever. You done yet, soldier boy? 'Cause I don't take kindly to threats. I turned my eyes back to Vanessa, looked at her real good. There was nothing behind them. No regret. No shame. Just that same tired look, like I was some inconvenience she wanted to get rid of. So I stood up. Slowly. Calm. This is your last warning, I said. I'm filing for full custody. And if I so much as hear that he's within 100 feet of Sophie again, I'll torch every bridge I have to make damn sure both of you drown in the fallout. Vanessa smirked. You're bluffing, she said. You actually believe the court will side with you? I leaned in close, just enough so only she could hear me. Then watch me. I turned and walked out without looking back. But as I stepped away, her voice followed me. Don't expect sympathy in court, Colin. You're just another angry vet with a gun and a grudge. She wasn't wrong about one thing. I was angry. But that grudge? That was just heating up. 2 days passed after the confrontation at the bar. Part of me hoped Vanessa would finally dial it down. Let the lawyers sort through the wreckage like grown-ups. But I should have known better. Vanessa never played fair. And she damn sure never played clean. It started late at night, just past midnight, with a heavy knock at the door of my motel room. I was knee-deep in legal paperwork when it jolted me back to reality. I thought maybe it was the front desk. Or Jared, maybe. But it was Sophie. Her face was soaked in tears, hoodie pulled up, backpack hanging off one shoulder like she'd just bolted from hell. Dad. I didn't know where else to go, she choked out. I pulled her inside fast, my heart sinking. What happened? I asked. She's losing it, Sophie said through choked sobs. Mom, she yelled at me. Said I was turning into you. That I was ungrateful. I told her I didn't want Travis in the house anymore, and she just snapped. My jaw tightened. Did he touch you again? No, she whispered. Not that. But he talks. The way he looks at me, it's gross. And Mom doesn't care. She told me if I didn't like it, I could leave. So I did. Then she reached into her hoodie and pulled out her phone. I recorded it, she said. She handed me the phone and I hit play. Vanessa's voice blasted out from the speaker, slurred with wine, sharp like broken glass. You think your dad's some hero? He left us. I was alone, Sophie. Alone for years. Travis has been here. He takes care of me. Sophie's voice followed, shaky, scared. He's not supposed to be here, Mom. He's not safe. I don't care. Vanessa screamed. If you can't deal with how things are now, then get the hell out. Click. Recording over. I shut my eyes and tried to choke back the fury boiling in my chest. This wasn't just betrayal anymore. This was something else. This was war. I forwarded the audio to Jared right away. Told him to lock it down. That clip was going to court. Next morning, Vanessa made her move. I got served. Temporary restraining order. Vanessa told the court I'd threatened her and Travis with a gun. Said I was unstable, prone to outbursts, emotionally unhinged. She even claimed Sophie was scared of me, afraid of her father's supposed rage. I laughed so hard when I read the papers, I almost put my fist through the motel wall. She's twisting the system, I told Jared over the phone, turning it into a weapon. She's desperate, he replied. And desperate people screw up. Let her make her own mess, just don't get any on you. But Vanessa wasn't done throwing punches. Later that afternoon, Sophie's phone lit up with a message. It was from Vanessa. You're choosing him over me? Fine. Don't come back. You're dead to me. Sophie showed me the screen, her hands trembling. I hate her, she whispered. She wasn't always like this. Before Travis, before all this, she was different. I pulled her in, wrapped an arm around her, trying to keep myself together. Because truthfully, inside, I was barely holding on. Vanessa had thrown her own daughter to the curb, all to protect a man she barely knew. A man who, from everything I'd found, was just using her. Family didn't matter to Vanessa anymore. Neither did truth or safety. All she cared about was pride, and she was dragging Sophie through the mud just to win a fight she started. That night, I sat in the motel parking lot again. The Magnum was right beside me, engine idling, thoughts racing. It would have been easy to do something reckless. One flash, one bang, and it'd all be over. But I didn't. Because Sophie still needed me. And Vanessa? She was about to learn what happens when you back a man into a corner, especially one with nothing left to lose, except the one thing he's sworn to protect. By the end of that week, I'd already met with my attorney 3 separate times. The second I handed him the audio of Vanessa threatening Sophie and the follow-up text, he leaned back and said one word. Leverage. But in family court, leverage wasn't a guaranteed win. It was a polished war zone, quiet voices and fake smiles hiding sharp knives. And Vanessa? She was a master of that act. Friday morning came, the day of our first hearing. Sophie and I were both called to testify. I hated the thought of putting her through that, forcing her to rehash everything in front of strangers. But Sophie looked me dead in the eye and said, they need to hear it from me. Not a document. Me. She had more backbone than most grown men I'd ever served with. So we walked into that courtroom together, shoulder to shoulder. Vanessa was already there, sitting with her smug, overpriced lawyer. She looked like she was auditioning for a damn soap opera. Hair pulled back neat, pearl necklace, a soft blouse, like she was headed to a corporate job interview, not a custody hearing. When she saw Sophie with me, she gave her a sweet little fake wave. Sophie didn't move a muscle. Good. The judge took his seat and looked through the files. Vanessa's attorney was first up, laid it on thick like molasses. Your Honor, he began, my client has endured extreme emotional distress due to Mr. Mercer, unstable behavior. While we recognize his military service, it has unfortunately resulted in PTSD-related incidents, including brandishing a firearm. Ms. Mercer is requesting full custody and a restraining order to ensure her and her daughter's safety. I almost snorted. The guy made it sound like I was one bad day away from snapping at a gas station. Meanwhile, Vanessa sat there like some patron saint of patience. Then it was our turn. My lawyer, Tiffany, sharp, calm, methodical, stood up and placed a flash drive on the evidence table like it was a loaded weapon. Your Honor, she said, Mr. Mercer may not be an actor, but he brings something far more compelling evidence. She explained the contents of the drive, audio recordings, text messages, proving that Vanessa had not only allowed a man with suspected criminal ties into her home, but also knowingly exposed her teenage daughter to him and dismissed her concerns outright. The judge leaned forward. Is the child present in the courtroom? Sophie didn't wait for anyone to answer. She stood. I am, she said, clear and steady. And I'd like to speak. The room went still. Even the court reporter paused, fingers hovering. Sophie took a breath. My mom stopped being my mom a long time ago, she began. She let a stranger live in our house, my house. He made comments about my body. He tried to touch me once. And when I told her, she blamed me. Vanessa's face drained of color. She tried to interrupt, but the judge raised a hand and cut her off. Sophie kept going, her voice trembling, but steady enough to shake the walls. I don't want to live with her. I don't feel safe. That's what Sophie said in court. And in that moment, I knew we'd won the day. But Vanessa? She wasn't about to go down without dragging someone through the mud first. That evening, I got an email from some random address I didn't recognize. Subject line, you really want to play dirty? I opened it, and my stomach dropped. It was a grainy, night vision video clearly filmed through the blinds. There I was, sitting in my truck outside the house, wiping down my Magnum. The message below it read, Think the court's gonna love seeing this? Maybe I accidentally leak it to the news. Or better yet, to Sophie's school. Let's see how long your hero mask stays on. Vanessa wasn't just trying to win anymore. She wanted to bury me. Even though I'd done nothing wrong, even though what I did was completely legal, she was twisting the narrative. She was trying to recast me as the threat, the villain, the unstable vet with a gun and a grudge. Vanessa had always been manipulative, cunning, but this was another level entirely. She wasn't fighting for custody, she was out for total annihilation. I kept watching the video over and over that night, studying every detail, the angle of the shot, the faint reflection in the window, the timestamp. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment bluff. It was planned, filmed from inside the house, which meant either she or Travis had recorded it, knowing full well they'd use it against me later. I didn't reply to the email. Instead, I forwarded it straight to Tiffany. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. She's desperate, Tiffany said. That's blackmail, plain and simple. Yeah, I muttered, but it's working. I could feel the noose tightening. I'd seen this happen before, good men losing everything. Their homes, their kids, their reputation, because the court believed the story she painted. I couldn't let that be me. I had to finish this. Not in court. Not with more emails. Face to face. So I texted Vanessa. One last talk. You owe me that much. No lawyers. Just us. To my surprise, she agreed. We met at the park near the old neighborhood, the one we used to take Sophie to when she was little. Vanessa showed up wearing sunglasses and a long coat, like she was ducking cameras. I didn't bring anything with me. No weapon. No flash drive. Just the truth. She lit a cigarette before I could even speak. Her first words? Sophie's becoming just like you. Cold. Angry. Miserable. I didn't respond. Just looked at her. She kept going. She used to be sweet. Now she acts like I'm the enemy in my own house. That's on you. No, I said quietly. That's on Travis. Vanessa flinched. Tell me something, I said, stepping a little closer. What is it about him? Really? Is it the thrill? The danger? Or does he remind you of who you used to be? She didn't answer. Just kept dragging on that cigarette like it was the only thing holding her together. You weren't always like this, I continued. There was a time you gave a damn. About Sophie. About us. And now you're threatening to leak videos of me cleaning my weapon after everything I did to protect this family. She snapped back. Protecting? You left. You were never around. You loved that uniform more than me. More than your own daughter. I left to give you both a life. A future. A roof over your head. Safety. Stability. I didn't want stability, Colin. She screamed. I wanted passion. Fire. I wanted to feel wanted, not like some box you checked before you flew off again. And just like that, the truth spilled out. She didn't want peace, she wanted chaos. Travis fed her that. With his fast life, dirty money, and reckless charm. He was a walking disaster, and she drank it like wine. You know he's using you, right? I said. He's got ties to dealers. We've got proof. He's pulling you down with him. Vanessa's voice cracked. He loves me. No, I said. He loves what you can give him. A roof, protection, a cover. Her face changed. Just for a second, I saw doubt flicker behind her glasses. Then it vanished. Maybe that's all I'm good for, she whispered. I paused. Because right then, something hit me. Vanessa wasn't evil. She was hollow. Years of pretending. Years of trying to feel important. It had worn her down. And Travis? He filled that void, like poison in a pretty glass. Sweet at first, but lethal in the end. You're going to lose her, I told her. You keep going down this road, and Sophie's never coming back. She didn't say a word, just turned and walked away. But before she turned to leave, Vanessa threw one last line over her shoulder. If I'm going down, I'll take you with me. I'd always known she had a cruel streak, but hearing her say that out loud, that hit different. She wasn't bluffing anymore. And with Travis coiled around her like some half-naked viper in heat, she wasn't just reckless, she was armed with bad judgment and a man running from something. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid there on that stiff motel bed, eyes locked on the ceiling, replaying every scenario that might play out. But for the first time since I'd returned from the war, I wasn't thinking like a soldier, I was thinking like a father with his back against the wall. Next morning, Jared called me. I went deeper, he said. Travis clinging on? Not his real name. I shot up in bed, heart pounding. What? His actual name's Orlando Goodman, Jared said. Changed it 3 years ago after getting caught in a drug bust. He flipped on a couple dealers, got a light sentence, and disappeared. Been hiding ever since. I felt the air leave my lungs. But that's not all, Jared added. He didn't just run. He took something with him. I held my breath. Cash, he said. A lot of it. From the crew he snitched on. And word is, they've been looking for him. Quietly, but relentlessly. Suddenly, it all made sense. His twitchy behavior. The new security cameras Vanessa suddenly needed. Her obsession with privacy, the way she kept glancing over her shoulder when we met in public. Jesus, I whispered. She doesn't even know. She might, Jared said. But it sounds like she just doesn't care. I didn't waste another second. I drove straight to the courthouse, needing to update Tiffany immediately. This was critical. A man hiding from cartel or gang connections had no business anywhere near my daughter. But Vanessa beat me to the punch. That same morning, she filed an emergency motion claiming I was mentally unstable and emotionally violent. She said she feared for her life. She even submitted a new video of me again, outside the house. Pacing, holding my phone, looking stressed. It was chopped up, edited, stripped of any context. She was trying to paint me as the threat before I even had a chance to speak. Then I got another email. No name, no signature, just a subject line. You like surprises? Attached was a photo. Travis, or rather, Orlando, shirtless, holding Sophie's school ID in one hand, flipping the bird with the other. Behind him? The hallway inside my house. The same hallway Sophie walked through every morning. The message below read, "One word from me and she disappears. Stay in your lane, soldier." And that's when I snapped. I got in the truck and drove straight to the house. Didn't care about the restraining order. Didn't care if she called the cops. I wasn't going to sit back for one more second. Vanessa answered the door, barefoot, wine glass in hand, and it wasn't even noon. She opened her mouth to say something, but I shoved right past her. "I'm done playing games," I said. "Where is he?" "Colin." "Where is he?" Travis came sauntering down the stairs in nothing but boxers, acting like he owned the place. "Man, you just don't quit, huh?" I lunged forward, grabbed him by the throat, and slammed him into the wall. "Where did you get my daughter's school ID?" I growled. "Answer me, or I swear." Vanessa screamed and tried to pull me off, but I was locked in. Travis laughed through it, smirking like a jackass. "It was a joke, man. Chill out. She probably dropped it and I found it." "A joke?" I spat. "You took a picture with it." "Threatened her." "Threatened me." "That wasn't me," he said, still trying to grin his way out of it. "Somebody's messing with you." I let go, breathing heavy, but I still fixed on him. "You're already buried, Orlando," I said. "You're just too dumb to realize the dirt's about to start falling in." That's when Vanessa slapped me. Hard. Across the face. "Get out," she screamed. "You're insane." I stared at her, stunned for a second. "He's a marked man," I said. "You're harboring a thief. And you don't even care what happens when they come looking for him. You think they'll spare you." She hesitated. Blinked. "Get out." I didn't argue. I turned and walked out the door. But this time, I wasn't walking away in defeat. This time, it was strategy. Because if Vanessa wouldn't listen to reason, maybe the law would finally catch up to her disaster. Court was set for Friday. The final custody hearing. Full review. No more emergency filings. No more behind-the-scenes smears. Just facts. Just truth. Cold and clear. And this time, I came ready for war. I walked into that courtroom with Tiffany by my side, dressed like I was laying to rest the man Vanessa once pretended to love. There was no rage in me anymore. Just precision. Controlled fire. Vanessa was already there, sitting like she hadn't tried to tear down everything I'd ever built. Vanessa sat there, perfectly polished, nails gleaming, lips painted a red that was just a little too much, like she needed the color to hide the steel underneath. Travis was slouched in the back corner, arms folded tight, trying his best not to look guilty. He failed miserably. The judge entered, stern, quiet, commanding the room without saying a word. Papers rustled. The clock seemed to drag its feet. Then Tiffany stood and delivered the first hit. "Your Honor, before we begin, we'd like to present new evidence." She laid it out one piece at a time, a flash drive, a sealed envelope, and 2 sworn affidavits. "This documentation confirms that Travis Klingon is actually Orlando Goodman," Tiffany stated, steady as ever. "He entered witness protection after stealing close to $200,000 from a drug ring based on the East Coast in 2021. Law enforcement contacts have verified there's still an open investigation into his disappearance." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Whispers. Vanessa turned her head, just slightly, but the mask she wore cracked, if only for a moment. But Tiffany wasn't done. We've also included a photo that was sent anonymously to Mr. Mercer. In it, Mr. Goodman is holding the minor's school ID while making an obscene gesture with the child's home in the background. This is a clear act of intimidation, a direct implication of harm. Vanessa shot up from her seat. That photo's fake, she shouted. We don't even know where it came from. Sit down, Ms. Mercer, the judge snapped. Then Tiffany slid the final piece forward. And these, she said, are original text messages pulled from Ms. Mercer's secondary phone, submitted voluntarily by Sophie Mercer. The messages show ongoing negligence, emotional abuse, and repeated refusal to remove a known felon from the home. Vanessa froze. Her mouth opened, then closed. Nothing came out. The judge exhaled through his nose, leaned in. Ms. Mercer, he asked, do you deny allowing Mr. Goodman to live in the home with your daughter, despite being told of his criminal past? She didn't answer right away. Then came a quiet mutter. I didn't know. The judge raised an eyebrow. You didn't know? Then how do you explain the surveillance cameras you installed? The sudden change of your phone number? The emergency motion you filed the same day your husband requested a background check? Silence. Finally, Vanessa whispered, voice barely holding together. I wanted to feel alive again. Travis made me feel that. I didn't think it would go this far. My client did, Tiffany added gently. The judge nodded, slowly tapping his pen on the bench. Effective immediately, he said, full legal and physical custody of Sophie Mercer is granted to Colin Mercer. Ms. Vanessa Mercer will be allowed supervised visitation weekly, pending psychological review. A separate hearing will be arranged regarding Mr. Goodman, legal status, and potential charges. Vanessa sank into her chair like the strings holding her up had been cut. Travis tried to make a break for it, but two court officers were already on the move. As they reached him, he muttered something bitter under his breath, something about Vanessa ruining everything. She didn't respond, didn't even look at him. She looked at me, and in her eyes, there was no fire left, no rage, no blame, just emptiness. She had built that void brick by brick, with her lies, her pride, her choices. I reached over and took Sophie's hand as we walked out of that courtroom. She didn't say much. Neither did I. We didn't need to. Sometimes silence says more than any speech ever could. When we got to the car, she finally spoke. Do you think she ever loved us? She asked. I paused, started the engine. I think she loved the idea of us, I said. But not the work. Not the weight that comes with it. Sophie nodded. I looked ahead at the road in front of us, took a long breath. I don't know how we're going to fix everything, I said. But we've got time now. And we've got each other. That night, I got rid of everything. The flash drives. The files. Deleted every trace of Vanessa's wreckage. I wasn't going to live in her storm anymore. I'd already survived one war zone. I wasn't about to let another one finish the job.